Coinbase is one of the biggest crypto exchanges out there, and they are paying attention to the trends in this space. For example, they just brought Dogecoin and XRP to their L2 network for Ethereum. They are excited about these two coins because in terms of popularity, they are on top of the world in the crypto space. If you were to look at the Google search results for popular crypto tokens, you would see that Dogecoin and XRP are amongst the most popular in crypto right now. Coinbase is one of the biggest crypto exchanges out there.
Wow, so you never know what you're getting. Speaking of that, Lydia code. Now this is tricky. Just got to get us back on the fairway at 5. Around the car, pod, she's in the hazard. Seemed to make pretty good contact with that. Tell you what, Sandy, if you're in Australia, you wouldn't be getting in that water. No. I was just thinking. Wow.
Definition of the muscle. Being ready mentally, physically. You looking and listening to the remedy. I'm lifting up the Filipino Americans. You better than the boy making noise. Definition of the hustle. I made $200 and invest a couple thousand, but it ain't about the salary. I'm out in the mentality, the rich poor dad, and you catching me? Definition of the struggle. How the fuck am I gonna explain myself to the family? The bitch don't pay my wealth. Am I really with school or waste? I fail? The definition of the bump. Waking up in California, not even the marijuana got me chillin'. I be stressing over insignificance, blood pressure high in. I'm out in the fighting in pain. The definition of the hump.
Yo, Jelly's go crazy, bro.
Definition of the month.
So we got the AK. Alright, let's try to get this air vehicle. Come on, come on. On second thought, let's focus on more troops. Nice, let's make them beefy. Okay, let's go. Okay, shoot this motorcycle. Come on, come on. Oh wait, there's a helicopter. Let's go for that. Oh no, we lost half our guys. This is Last War Survival, and you're probably thinking that the gameplay is completely different from what you're seeing. Unlike other games that use fake ads, this is the real deal. What you see is what you get. Don't believe me? Tap the screen and download off this video.
Welcome back to the Crypto Channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, as the price of Bitcoin continues to bounce from this major area of support, the price is also getting extremely close to wiping out a bunch of short positions, possibly causing a new short squeeze, which could likely happen in the next 24 hours. So I'll be talking about that in just a moment, alongside my exact Bitcoin trading strategy, and of course talking about how Ethereum and Solana are also bouncing from these key levels of support in the short term, while the price of XRP is continuing to play out this short-term bullish pattern. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Bitcoin price chart, and currently the super trend indicator is still sitting in the green on this time frame, so not much has changed over the last 1 day on this chart. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, obviously, as I said many times over the last 1 to 2 weeks, we're starting to slow down the bullish momentum in the weekly Bitcoin MACD. So obviously, not a lot has changed on this chart over the last 1 day. So getting straight into this weekly Bitcoin chart, and for now, technically, we still have a major bearish divergence to watch out for, with higher highs confirmed in the price and lower highs confirmed in the weekly Bitcoin RSI. And so, as always, a bearish divergence means we're basically slowing down the bullish momentum, and we're most likely going to see a larger cool-off play out, at least based on the last few bearish divergences that we've seen on the weekly Bitcoin chart. Obviously, we saw one right here play that in the form of a major pullback over the next couple of months or so. We saw a smaller bearish divergence right here on the weekly time frame that confirmed around mid-2023, and then we saw a pullback over around 1 to 2 months following that bearish divergence. And then, of course, we saw a bearish divergence at the end of the 2021 bull market. And so, obviously, in the shorter term and the slightly smaller time frame, we can see short-term bullish moves, obviously. But for now, technically speaking, the weekly charts are telling us we should not necessarily expect a significant amount of momentum towards the upside on the larger time frame. And if we're taking a look at this 3-day Bitcoin price chart, obviously, right now, and as I've said many times just recently on the channel, we are getting potentially very close to a bearish crossover in the 3-day Bitcoin MACD, but at least for now, obviously, that bearish crossover or possible bearish crossover is not currently confirmed. So technically, there's still also the possibility we could avoid the bearish crossover, but at least for now, we're still seeing a declining bullish momentum, still seeing a lack in bullish momentum. Technically speaking, once again, we are seeing a short-term bounce, but not necessarily a massive amount of momentum towards the upside, at least right now. But with that being said, taking a look at the daily Bitcoin price chart, and obviously the price of Bitcoin is continuing the short-term bounce from this significant area of support I've been talking about since before we perfectly bounced in this area. And of course, that's still sitting in between around 101,000 to 102,000, so continue to expect a lot of support in that area. And as I've also mentioned many times recently here on the channel, I'll only flip bearish on the trend here if we actually break below this area of support. So if we confirm candle closes on the daily time frame below around 101,000, in that situation, that will start forming bearish price structure and point towards a possible trend reversal. But at least for now, while we're holding above this area, technically we can still remain within this bullish trend. And for all we know, this is just a shorter-term cool-off within a larger bullish trend. And so for that reason, of course, I stayed in the long position this entire time, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But first, giving a quick update on this 12-hour time frame. And obviously, as I also mentioned yesterday, that now over the last one day, we've seen a further breakout in the 12-hour Bitcoin RSI above this previous high. And so this is basically now telling us that this bearish divergence, at least on this 12-hour time frame here, is now invalid. It's already played its part, and obviously we should not necessarily expect it to play out any longer, considering we're now starting to see a bit more of a reversal play out in the 12-hour Bitcoin RSI. And not only are we seeing this play out, but of course a bounce from key support, we are also getting extremely close to major liquidity that is sitting just above the price of Bitcoin. And once again, I've mentioned this recently on the channel, but we do have liquidity building at around 107,000. And so at least based on the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, it is extremely likely, never a guarantee, but extremely likely the price of Bitcoin will go towards that liquidity to take out that liquidity at 107,000. So in other words, it's very likely that very soon, potentially over the next one day, we're going to hit 107,000 as the most likely scenario here. Because usually the price of Bitcoin tends to move towards where there's a lot of liquidity, and obviously that's what we saw here a few days ago. We dumped to the downside to take out the liquidity that was building just below the price of Bitcoin back then. Whereas right now, obviously, we're seeing liquidity building just above the price of Bitcoin, pointing towards potentially a bit more of a short-term bullish move, likely going to happen soon. And so with all of that being said, what is my trading strategy for the price of Bitcoin? And well, right now I'm still long on the price of Bitcoin because once again, we've technically not confirmed a bearish trend reversal on this daily time frame. And this long position was essentially a swing trade, as I've been saying since I entered the trade at around 88,000, because it was at that point right there where we saw a significant change in price structure. Previously, during this period of the market, obviously the price of Bitcoin was within a bearish trend on the daily time frame, but once we broke out above this key Fibonacci level and also breaking out above this previous high, that was a major change in price structure. And so obviously from that point onwards, I've just been long on the price of Bitcoin, betting that we're going to continue to see more bullish price action. And then from time to time during that trade, I've taken a small amount of profits here and there out of the position, just slightly reducing the size of the trade at some of these key resistance levels along the way up. And also during this long position, during this swing trade, I have been slowly moving my stop loss further and further into profits as the trade moves further and further into profits. But over the last few days, I've really made no new changes to this position. So you can see my current realized profits haven't really changed at all over the last one day. My stop loss is still sitting at the same level I was sitting at yesterday. And if we're taking a look at the funding rates over on 2bit, at least for the Bitcoin pair right here, we can see that the funding rates are currently negative, which means essentially this long position here is earning passive income. So even if the price just goes sideways, this long position is earning fees, funding fees, because the funding rates are negative. So the short positions are paying extra funding fees right now, and the long positions are earning fees when the funding rates are negative, and then when the funding rates are positive, it's the opposite direction. And so these negative funding rates are also an extra signal telling us that it is quite likely we could see a little bit more of at least a short-term bullish relief here. It's a very likely scenario, considering the reaction that we've just seen from the significant support, considering the invalidation and possible reversals here in the 12-hour RSI invalidating the bearish divergence, and also considering that most of the liquidity is just above the price of Bitcoin. And so overall, those are my expectations in the shorter term, continued relief for now, but of course, once again, the larger time frames are still telling us to not necessarily expect significant momentum on the larger time frames. And if you want to actually trade
Hold and earn over 4% APR on USDG with Kraken Plus. Kraken Plus subscribers get 10,000 pounds in fee-free trading every month for just £5 with Kraken Plus. Convert cash to USDG and start earning today.
And that's something that drives, either at 20K, 50K, 80K.
Ethereum will make millionaires in 2025. If you hold Ethereum, get ready. Because while most people are being distracted by the recent Elon Musk and Donald Trump feud, different substantial moves are being made behind the scenes to springboard the cryptocurrency industry, with Ethereum set to be one of the biggest beneficiaries of everything happening. BlackRock is lining up the regulators. The President of the United States and his family continue to buy more and are now some of the biggest Ethereum investors in the world. The fundamentals and on-chain metrics are exploding far and above. Different substantial moves are being made.
And that's something that drives, either at 20K, 50K, 80K.
Ethereum will make millionaires in 2025. If you hold Ethereum, get ready. Because while most people are being distracted by the recent Elon Musk and Donald Trump feud, different substantial moves are being made behind the scenes to springboard the cryptocurrency industry, with Ethereum set to be one of the biggest beneficiaries of everything happening. BlackRock is lining up the regulators. The President of the United States and his family continue to buy more and are now some of the biggest Ethereum investors in the world. The fundamentals and on-chain metrics are exploding far and above every other chain, in such a way that's making Ethereum very undervalued. I'll give you my price prediction and an expert price prediction at the end of this video, but understand this: whether the price of Ethereum hits 5K in the future, 10K in the future, or 20K in the future, or more, what's most important to me in this video is to show you how generally undervalued Ethereum is at this time in mid-2025. If you hold Ethereum, let me know by liking the video. It'll be interesting to see how many ETH holders there are, and the opportunities in crypto can be found when public sentiment doesn't quite match asset fundamentals, and that's what's happening with Ethereum now. See, most people think of Ethereum as old news, dated tech, last cycle's alpha. It's not digital gold, it's not being valued like Bitcoin's being valued, and as a dApp platform, it's just not as sexy or as low of a market cap as Solana, Sui, or Supra. But I think Ethereum is about to surprise a lot of people, Ethereum's rally is about to be the most hated rally, and it's already been stealthily gaining momentum and being accumulated by whales. Why is this? Well, Ethereum is the one DApp platform blockchain built and ready for Wall Street and big money. They are robust. They are battle-tested. Ethereum is still the largest chain for a booming stablecoin market and real-world asset market. And as stablecoins and RWA market increases, Ethereum will greatly benefit from this. Think about it. Ethereum has a proven track record. It is a robust blockchain. It does not go down. It can be trusted to secure the millions and billions and trillions of dollars that Wall Street wants to move on-chain. I like Solana. I think Solana will continue to do well, but for Wall Street and traditional finance, they need a robust chain like Ethereum to tokenize the world. BlackRock needs a chain that they can trust. That's why they like Bitcoin. That's why they like Ethereum. And not only that, Ethereum is a safe altcoin for Wall Street to sell to their clients. Wall Street is a selling machine. And just like no wealth advisor got fired for recommending IBM stock in the 90s .com boom, no wealth advisor is going to get fired for recommending Ethereum in this new crypto boom. Also, most people don't realize that Vitalik Buterin is back behind the wheel at the Ethereum Foundation with a revitalized roadmap, making Ethereum's technical future the most bullish it's been since back in 2020. Also, a little backstage info. As you know, I got a chance to interview the Trump family on the main stage at Bitcoin Vegas this year, the Trump brothers. The conversation on stage, of course, was focused on Bitcoin, but backstage, Eric Trump told me that the Trump family owns tons of Ethereum. The Trump family is extremely bullish on Ethereum specifically, and I don't need to tell you, it's a very bullish thing to have the most powerful person on the planet be aligned with your interests, which main stage at Bitcoin Vegas this year, the Trump brothers. The conversation on stage, of course, was focused on Bitcoin, but backstage, Eric Trump told me that the Trump family owns tons of Ethereum. The Trump family is extremely bullish on Ethereum specifically, and I don't need to tell you, it's a very bullish thing to have the most powerful person on the planet be aligned with your interests, which explains the sweeping positive regulation we're seeing and we're about to see. Most of the Altcoin Daily audience knows that the US stablecoin bill and market structure bill are expected to be passed within the next 3 months. These two bills will be huge for the crypto industry at large, but what most people don't realize is that Ethereum will asymmetrically benefit and be one of the chains that can gain the most from these new policy changes we're about to see. Most people only care about drama. They don't take the time to learn what's happening or learn what's new. Don't let Congress make better investments than you, because most people only care about drama. They don't take the time to learn what's happening or learn what's new. Don't let Congress make better chains that can gain the most from these new policy changes we're about to see. Most people only care about drama. They don't take the time to learn what's happening or learn what's new. Don't let Congress make better investments than you, because a historic gain the most from these new policy changes we're about to see. Most people only care about drama. They don't take the time to learn what's happening or learn what's new. Don't let Congress make better investments than you, because a historic moment just happened.
I'm not going to talk too much about whether or not I believe this little feud that's been going on between two grown men, but it is a little bit weird. And ultimately, all it's done is shaken the prices of various different stocks and crypto prices a little bit lower and created more fear and worry sentiment across the markets, which, if you're a profitable crypto trader, you want to see. Okay? Because you want to be entering into fearful, worrying markets. You don't want to enter into euphoric markets. Trust me on that. If you've entered into euphoric markets in the past, that's probably why you are down on your portfolio. Who enters into scared, fearful markets? People like BlackRock. Okay, they've been buying over the past few days into Ethereum in big volumes. People like Donald Trump with his World Liberty Finance. Various different institutions, etc. Now, on top of that, we've seen some very interesting stuff take place that's caused a nice positive reaction to be shown across different crypto charts. This is from Market Party. You can go follow them on Twitter. And it's basically shown where the different liquidity pools have been set up across the major cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Solana, Sui, Ethereum, XRP, BNB. And you can see that now billions of dollars worth of short positions are stacked up above current prices. You might think that that's bearish, but trust me on this. Market makers want to move where the liquidity is, and this is fuel for the fire, because when the market makers decide to push price higher, they will absorb all of these sell positions, flipping them into buy positions, and that can send the markets pumping very, very aggressively, and is often why, after periods of time where we can go sideways and the price suddenly turns around, that we see some of the most explosive moves like this. The explosive moves come from when the market has been fearful for a long time. You can see here, fearful for a very, very long time. You can see as soon as Bitcoin breaks this, it goes absolutely parabolic. Okay? Once you can see again, fearful for a long time, it breaks the downtrend here and it goes parabolic and starts to push up. Now you can see it's having a nice healthy retest, and we're quite fortunate to see this. Now guys, before we dive in and have a look at what this liquidity stuff is really all about, and whether or not we're going to see prices go higher, whether or not our altcoins are still safe, let's quickly just look at the M2. Because I know people are like, the M2 doesn't work anymore, it's complete BS. You weren't able to predict this like 9% pullback in Bitcoin. Guys, you don't want me to predict 9% pullback in Bitcoin because it's nothing. Okay, this is a very small pullback, really, in the grand scheme of things. But many people have been forced to be very bearish and scared because they've been caught up in all of this kind of price action over a long time, and the altcoins have been suffering, which is why all fears are building up. But if you zoom out and look at this on a weekly chart, Bitcoin went straight up for 7 weeks. It's had a couple of weeks pulling back, and potentially then has more ahead of it. Now what we can see here is that Bitcoin started to pull back around the 19th of May. Those of you who are a little more astute will have noticed that the M2 was going up at that point and then has pulled back. So many of us probably thought that Bitcoin would be pulling back maybe next week rather than now. And that's because basically I've got some crucial things, right? While the M2 continues to increase basically on the weekly chart, as we've seen over the past few months, years in fact, you can see that there are always like 1 or 2 weeks in between where not much happens. It doesn't always have to mirror perfectly exactly what is going on in the M2. You can see M2 is rocketing up here, but we have a 2 or 3 weeks sort of sideways play around before Bitcoin finally breaks. This was at the previous all-time high. You can see it again, previous all-time high from here. Bitcoin's sticking around here until the market makers are ready to send this to the next level. Now, in the past, back last summer, we saw Bitcoin building slowly, quietly, while everyone was like, my altcoins are doing nothing. With the exception of Sui and a handful of other altcoins that were pumping during this time, everyone was incredibly fearful and worried, all until this point. Then all of a sudden, market pumps like this. And everyone was like, oh, it's because Donald Trump's going to be the president, so pro-president is really bullish. And that was the news story that covered the tracks of the market makers just driving up the prices to capture all of those short positions that were stacked up here and also move with liquidity. Liquidity then falls, so does Bitcoin. Liquidity then goes up, so does Bitcoin. But obviously, from week to week, we can see bearish stuff going on. And I appreciate that many altcoins have been suffering during this time. Guess what? Many altcoins suffered during this time, but many altcoins did incredibly well here. Let me just show you a couple of examples. This is my Lovely Planet, a coin that I personally hold. You can see from like September time, when Bitcoin was going up, it was kind of going down and not really doing a huge amount. Guess what? Bitcoin broke above those highs around the 4th of November. MLC, or My Lovely Coin, went up like 110%. And then, the 2 weeks that followed, it went up 12, and then the week after that, it finished up about 14x. This is why you're sitting in the market right now, okay? You have to capture these moves. You can see from the highs, My Lovely Coin, just as an example, pulled back 71%. This is just one coin. So many coins just did nothing and sat doing nothing until around here, and then suddenly just ripped towards the upside. So if you're complaining and worried about altcoins right now, I get it. I hold altcoins too. It's annoying that my portfolio doesn't look as big as I want it to look, okay? But that doesn't really matter, because I'm not holding for next week. I'm looking to take exits towards the top of the bull market. And as you can see, 1,056 days from the bottom of the last bear market. You can see every single time, uptrend for Bitcoin is 1,056 days. Now, by the way, this is a monthly chart, so once Bitcoin hits the top, it doesn't say that Bitcoin can't stick there for a few weeks or so to allow altcoins to kind of rally up behind it. But ultimately, you don't tend to see the wider altcoin market really starting to blow up until Bitcoin's been in a good, healthy uptrend for at least 7, 8, 9 weeks, maybe more, okay? And then you start to see these kind of things happen. Now, some of the stronger, earlier movers will show some signs of life here. This is Clearpool, just an example. 5th of August, you can see it slowly started to build up until the 2nd of December, where something just like pumps like crazy. 2nd of December, just for those of you who are aware, looking at a Bitcoin chart, comes here, okay? So Bitcoin
easily set employee spend controls was Revolut Business.